Okay, today we're going to 35 acres in Rancho Escondido, which is just west of Weston, Colorado. Weston, Colorado is about 18 miles from Trinidad, and going west on Highway 12. And you can see the Sangre de Cristo Mountains really well here. It's just really pretty. We're fixing to come into Weston, and I'll show you that. And I'm going to be showing you the drive to the property. It's a very usable piece of ground, lots of tall pines. There's power and phone along the property, and the terrain is really mild on the property, and that's really neat. Now the Sangre de Cristos here, they are national forest. There's 30,000 acres of wildlife area right behind state wildlife area behind Weston here that we'll be driving into. So you have the national forest up there and mountain lakes. This property is going to be about 35 minutes from Trinidad, and about 20 minutes to the mom and pop store at Ringo's back behind me here, about 4 miles. They have gas pumps, and they've got a real nice store they have there. And then if you come back down out of Rancho Escondido, you're going to be going, you can take a right, and you're only about 10 minutes to Stonewall, Colorado. Really neat kind of fishing community. Now we're coming into Weston, and just a few miles past Weston here, you'll see the Rancho Escondido sign. We'll take a right. See, there's a post office here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is be videoing the drive up through the ranch, and then of course on the property, showing you maps, and then fly a drone over the property. The Rancho Escondido turn has a sign out like I was telling you. I just wanted to kind of slow down here a little bit and let some cars pass. It's only about 3 miles west of Weston, Colorado. I know that kind of sounds redundant. I'm going a little slower. So, oh, the Sangre de Cristos look about that big when you're driving here. Great fishing though, like I say, up there, hunting and everything. Second largest elk herd in the world here. And what else was I going to say? Oh, average winter temperature is about 50 degrees. County taxes are low. Land prices are low compared to most areas of the state or the nation. So we're going to come around this curve right here. It's only about 2.5, maybe 3 miles to the after Weston to the Rancho Escondido turn, and then it'll be about 3-4 miles to get up to this property that we're going to. It's lot C23 in Rancho Escondido. This is the Purgatory River Valley on our left. It's mostly private land, but at the places where the roads cross and bridges and things, of course, you can walk along the river, and you can also fish in the river as well. So here we're coming to Rancho Escondido turn. And you can see that it's County Road 23.3, and there's the sign. This pavement goes for a little ways, so you've got about 3 miles of maintained road, year-round maintained road to get to your property. Love the sandstone formations in this area. And of course, you're in the Ponderosa Pines. And I forgot what else I was going to say. This property sits about 8,000 feet in elevation, maybe a little bit lower, which is actually the perfect elevation for this area, anywhere from about 75 to 8,000 feet. So then you can do greenhouses or gardens and things. I would have greenhouses at 8,000. We live at 9, and we have to have greenhouses. But, you know, there's not a lot of snow each year. it doesn't stick around for very long, and it melts fast. But we do get it. I would say at this place, probably get about 80 to 100 inches of snow a year. Okay, this is a old Boy Scout camp, and there's they have a lot of little cabins and things. So if you wanted to start with your property, this would be a great place to stay if you're doing work and you need a place to stay if you're working on a cabin or something. And they've got a restaurant right in there. And just up here in a little bit, we're going to take a right. Okay, after you pass the Boy Scout ranch, and we've only gone like a mile and a half, 2 miles, you'll see the Rancho Escondido sign again. And those are the trash dumpsters for the ranch, which a lot of properties don't have that. Dues are about $3.50 a year. I'm gonna have to shift gears, so you just stay right. This first part is a little steep coming up, but you can get anything up at modular home or construction equipment. When we get to the top here, basically all of Rancho Escondido, you see all the sangres. Basically Rancho Escondido, it's all on top of this high mesa up here. Water well, I would say an average about 600 feet. And since you have power and phone, you know, power is about $2,100 a pole. To pull power, depending on where you could put a place. You could put a place on this property just about anywhere. And the good thing about this property too is when I show you the topo map, if you look at it down at the bottom part of the triangle, it gets really close to a valley bottom. And I'd put my water well down there. It doesn't take a lot of expense. You have to knock a road in to get down there. I know ranchers that can help out with that at not real high cost. And then I drill a water well down below, and you might get it about 300 feet versus a lot of these properties you're going to have, you know, about 600-800 feet for a water well. Okay, so when you get to the top here, you'll see the old Rancho Escondido sign. It had a map on there. So you take a left onto North Ridge Road, and then I'll show you the next turn up here. Okay, we went about 3/4 of a mile past the sign we just looked at when we got to the top of the hill, and we're going to stay on North Ridge. That one they want $140,000 for. It's just the top of a hill. Now here's this one. Starting about right here, you can see the sandstone formations, and you can see how gentle it is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drive to the other end of the property. There's a gas well on the far northeastern part of this property, and then the northeastern corner is gonna be a little bit further past the gas well. Okay, we came from this direction, come up North Ridge Road. The map, don't ignore these roads. These are wrong compared to what the signs are in the ranch. And the roads are great in this ranch too. We went past the gas well. And we're sitting right here at the northeast corner. Top of the map's always north. I want to show you this is how gentle this piece of property is. So we're sitting here on the topo map. And you're going to see as we're driving back, and I'm going to walk in here a little bit, then I'm going to fly my drone over the property. But you can make a road and get down here real private. And where I was talking about doing a water well, I just have them keep knocking a roughed in road so a well drilling truck would come down to this bench. See this valley right here? That's what I'm saying. I'd say maybe 300-400 feet up for a water well would be my guess there. No guarantees, but average 5
Pink
gallon.
flagging, northeast corner, my wife's favorite color.
Through the trees over here, you can see the Sangre de Cristos, I mean the Spanish Peaks, but this is another piece of property, so you can't wipe them out. The Sangre de Cristos, they look big up here. They look about like, you can see that, about like that. Of course, you can see the power pole, so you got power going along here. And like I say, there's phone all along in this ranch, which is very rare in most of these ranches. See the sandstone formations. Right here, you can see back to Fisher's Peak over Trinidad. Now we're going to pass the gas well, and what's nice about this ranch too, these gas wells are on electric motors, so you don't hear them. That's another nice thing about this area, as far as septics go and things like that. You have no problem with drainage, because basically any moisture gets on this ground, and that's how you get your water wells. You see how mild this is, and then it just slopes down as you go. A lot of animals in this area too. Okay, we started at the northeast corner over here, drove up, and where those big sandstone formations are at, I didn't get out and look for the pin, but it's close to those big sandstone formations. So I backed up, came around this curve a little bit, and now I'm about right in here. And I'm going to take a little walk through the land and then come back and fly my drone over the property. Okay, I'm going to start walking through the land. This is really nice to have this much usable land on a high mountain property like this. It's not even that high. And I don't know, I might fall off a cliff. I'm kind of afraid. Trees are nicely dispersed or separated. Real nice temperature today. The hottest it gets around here, only for maybe a couple weeks in July, you might get into the 90s. So we're close to the western boundary line here. I really think those are on it. And I'm going to start walking more towards the center of the lot. You can see my truck back there. And also I wanted to point out that in here, about in this spot, you can see the tippy tops of the Spanish Peaks. One thing nice about not seeing the mountains, my wife and I argued about that. On this land too, you could fence it, and real easily. We have a lot of animals, and I said, baby, we need valleys or land, you know, you don't have to be a billy goat on. There's some neat rocks. This will be the first line on the topo map that you see coming off the road. Anytime you see one of those topo lines, it's only I think they're 40. Can't remember what the drop in elevation is. We haven't dropped anything. So, and then down to the next one, it's 40 feet down, and that's why I like seeing wide topo lines. You have more usable land. If you're about 35 acres, why not? Or 5, or 1. Yeah, I'm getting out of breath and wore out. This is tough. It's pretty. I don't know how many more pictures to take here. Land, trees, rocks. Goes a long ways that way. It all looks like this. I'm sure there's other sandstone formations, especially when you, like I say, you see these topo line ridges. That's usually where the sandstone formations are, at this elevation. I wish all them birds weren't chirping. They sound like they're having a good time. We go down to this next topo line. Old deer droppings, a few months old. Yeah, I can see some more. Okay, we're coming to the next topo line. Ooh, some big rock formations over there. Ooh. Oh yeah. Okay. I don't know. You could be up over there too. I mean, there's so much opportunity. I like this canyon. Hiking down in there. This is right. I'd come down. I'd drill a water well down in here. Maybe over in here. Yes, sir. Yeah, you got another bench right out there. You can walk out on that bench and you're going to see back to Fisher's Peak over Trinidad. Yep, you got this other big draw here, and that's a nice flat top up there. If you come back down a little bit from where we parked, and then come out on that little ridge, and you're going to have views of Fisher's Peak on the very end of that. And if you see, like I say, if you can see the Sangre de Cristos or the Spanish Peaks, that's where you're going to get wind and impacts from the storms that come through. Yeah, there's a bunch of rock formations over there. I know that's all on it. Go out on that point right there. Put a water well down in here somewhere. Run the line up. So I'm walking kind of a northeasterly direction. Oh, I'm getting tired. Yeah. We were walking through over there. Trucks over there. Yeah, I probably didn't video the best part. You see a nice clearing over there. Okay, I'm gonna go back and fly. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. It's fun flying the drone. Like I say, I think the property corner is about right in here somewhere, for the northwestern corner. So those big rocks may not be on it, but the other ones down below, I believe, are. There's plenty of usable ground on it. See a flag. And I'll be showing you some of the drive out, because you get really pretty views of the Sangre de Cristos when you're leaving. Okay, and we're going back down to the main canyon to go out to Highway 12, and this is one of the best views in the whole entire area. I gotta stop here a little bit. I'll zoom in. They are big. They look about, oh, like that. It's hard to do on a video camera. And this is what it looks like on this side of the road. I've got another piece of property over there. It has all these views. But I can help you with anything around in the area. I've lived here for 22 years, me and my wife and our kids and animals and everything. No ranchers and no builders, everything from the land to the tippy top of your roof, and or anything else you might need help with. And I follow through on all of it. Okay, and we are through.